Imagine you're walking down the street and you notice two people. One is driving a brand new luxury car, wearing expensive designer clothes and carrying the latest smartphone. The other is driving an older sedan, wearing a simple t-shirt and jeans, and carrying a phone that's several years old. If you had to guess which one is wealthy, who would you choose? Most people would point to the first person without hesitation. But surprisingly, they could be completely wrong. Many of the world's wealthiest people don't look rich at all. They don't feel the need to prove their success through expensive possessions. Instead, they quietly build wealth while the rest of the world is busy trying to look wealthy. The difference isn't income, it's mindset. Imagine two co-workers named David and Michael. They started working at the same company on the same day. They earned nearly identical salaries, received similar raises, and had the same opportunities. Yet, 10 years later, their financial lives looked completely different. David loved the appearance of success. Every promotion became an excuse to upgrade his lifestyle. He bought the newest phone every year, leased a luxury car, moved into a larger apartment, and filled his closet with designer brands. Every vacation was carefully photographed and shared online. To everyone around him, David looked successful. Friends admired him, co-workers envied him, and strangers assumed he was wealthy. But behind the scenes, another story was unfolding. His savings account barely existed, his credit card balances continued growing, and every paycheck disappeared almost as quickly as it arrived. The expensive lifestyle that made him appear rich also kept him trapped. Michael made different choices. He drove the same reliable car for years. He replaced his phone only when it stopped working. His clothes were simple, and he rarely bought things just to impress others. Instead of spending every raise, he automatically invested part of every paycheck. He built an emergency fund before buying luxury items. While David was purchasing things that lost value, Michael was buying assets that quietly grew over time. Most people assumed Michael was simply average because they judged him by what they could see. Years passed, and the gap between them became enormous. Then an economic downturn hit, and both men lost their jobs. David immediately panicked. Without a steady paycheck, he struggled to pay his car loan, rent, and credit card bills. The image of success he had carefully built disappeared almost overnight. Michael was concerned too, but he wasn't desperate. His emergency fund covered his expenses for months. His investments continued working even while he searched for a new opportunity. He had something David didn't have: freedom. This is the biggest misunderstanding about wealth. Most people confuse spending with being rich. Expensive cars, designer clothes, and luxury watches are visible. Investments, savings accounts, retirement funds, and financial security are invisible. We naturally judge what we can see, even though the most valuable part of someone's financial life is often hidden. Companies understand this psychology extremely well. Advertisements rarely sell products alone, they sell identity. A luxury car isn't marketed as transportation, it's presented as status. A designer watch isn't shown as something that tells time, it's portrayed as success. They convince people that buying expensive things will make them appear more important. And for a short time, it often works. But real wealth doesn't need constant attention. People who are truly wealthy often focus less on impressing others, and more on creating choices for themselves. Every dollar they don't spend becomes another employee, working on their behalf through investing and compound growth. While others chase appearances, they quietly build financial independence. This doesn't mean you should never enjoy your money, There's nothing wrong with buying things you genuinely value. The problem begins when purchases are made only to impress people who probably aren't paying much attention anyway. Real confidence comes from knowing your finances are secure, not from hoping strangers notice your expensive possessions. The next time you see someone living a simple life, don't assume they're struggling. They might be quietly building a future that most people only dream about. And the next time you feel pressure to buy something just to look successful, ask yourself one simple question. Would I rather look rich today or actually become wealthy tomorrow? Because at the end of the day, the loudest wealth is often borrowed, while the quietest wealth is usually real. If you want lasting financial freedom, stop chasing the appearance of wealth and start building the habits that create it. Your future self will thank you.